Welcome to Concept with Justin. Today, let's talk about creating a breathtaking garden landscape that brings life to your home. Let's begin by visualizing a serene and inviting outdoor space, a garden that welcomes you in, connects you with nature, and feels like an extension of your home. Imagine walking through pathways bordered with flowering plants, sitting in a cozy, shaded corner surrounded by greenery. And the peaceful, trickling sound of a water feature nearby. That's the kind of landscape we're aiming for, a beautiful blend of aesthetics, function, and harmony with nature. Start by assessing the space. Every landscape has unique qualities: size, soil type, climate, sunlight, and shade that should guide design decisions. Knowing these will help you select the right plants and features for each part of the garden. Study how the sun moves through your yard, where water collects, and which areas get more shade. These elements inform decisions on plant placement, structures, and pathways. Dividing your yard into zones or microclimates is essential. Each area may have different light levels, moisture, and soil conditions. For instance, a sunny front yard may be ideal for vibrant flower beds, while a shady corner in the back can host ferns, mosses, and shade-loving shrubs. Think of each zone as a unique canvas and select plants that thrive in those specific conditions. For year-round appeal, choose a variety of plants that bloom at different times. Early spring bulbs, like daffodils and tulips, will usher in the season with bright colors, followed by summer's showstoppers like roses, lavender, and lilies. Autumn is ideal for foliage-heavy plants such as maples, sumacs, and oaks, which provide stunning reds, oranges, and yellows. Winter calls for evergreens and ornamental grasses that retain structure, adding a subtle beauty when other plants go dormant. Layering is key to creating depth and interest. Start with taller plants and trees at the back, medium-height shrubs in the middle, and low-growing plants or ground covers at the front. This technique not only adds visual interest, but also ensures that each plant has enough space and sunlight. Texture also plays a major role. Pairing soft, leafy plants with spiky, architectural ones creates a dynamic contrast. For instance, the feathery foliage of a stilbe contrasts beautifully with the sharp, upright blades of iris. Every garden benefits from a focal point, something that draws the eye and anchors the space. It could be a beautiful tree, a water feature, a sculpture, or even a vibrant flower bed. Position your focal point where it can be enjoyed from different angles, perhaps from the patio or as you enter the garden. Pathways guide movement and lend a sense of flow. Consider materials like gravel, flagstone, or brick that blend naturally with the landscape. For a softer look, use stepping stones set among ground covers like creeping thyme or Irish moss. Pathways not only serve a practical purpose, but also encourage exploration, leading visitors to discover each part of the garden. Transform sections of your garden into rooms by adding different elements or changes in layout. You might have a small seating area surrounded by tall plants for a secluded feel, or an open grassy space for playing and picnics. Adding structures like pergolas, trellises, or low walls gives definition to these spaces and creates a natural flow, making the garden feel like an extension of the home. Native plants are ideal for a low-maintenance, ecologically friendly garden. They've adapted to the local climate and soil, which means they generally require less water, fertilizer, and pest control. Including native plants supports local wildlife, especially pollinators like bees, butterflies, and birds. They add a sense of place and contribute to the ecosystem, making your garden feel authentically connected to the area. Vertical elements like trellises, arbors, or even a garden wall can add height and dimension, making your landscape more visually engaging. Climbing plants like clematis, wisteria, or honeysuckle can add beauty and fragrance to these structures. Even in a small garden, vertical elements draw the eye upward, making the space feel larger and more immersive. To truly design a captivating landscape, we need to delve even deeper into each element, adding layers of knowledge that will make any garden shine. Now let's look at some finer points, practical techniques, and inspiration that will help you achieve a more detailed and harmonious garden landscape. Understanding your garden's potential and limitations. Every yard or garden space has its unique features and limitations. Take time to study your land's natural layout, identifying slopes, rocky patches, or overly compacted soil. Think of these as opportunities rather than constraints. They help define the kind of garden best suited to the land's inherent qualities. For instance, a gently sloping yard can serve as the perfect foundation for terraced beds, while a rocky or sandy area might make an ideal spot for a rock garden filled with succulents or other drought-resistant plants. Assessing the wind patterns in your garden is another step often overlooked but essential for planting trees and taller plants. If you're in a windy area, consider adding windbreaks, such as hedges or taller shrubs, along the edges of your property. These windbreaks will not only protect delicate plants, but can also serve as privacy screens or natural fencing. Garden zoning in detail, defining spaces by function. Think about your garden as a collection of zones, each serving a unique purpose, from a quiet meditation nook to an outdoor dining area. Breaking down these spaces will give your garden a sense of structure and ensure each part of the landscape is used to its full potential. Entry zone. This area introduces visitors to your garden and should create a welcoming impression. Low-maintenance plants like lavender, rosemary, or boxwoods are popular for this purpose. These hardy, fragrant shrubs thrive close to pathways and offer year-round greenery. Entertainment area. This could be a patio, a deck, or a grassy area where you'll spend time with family and friends. Consider adding hardy ground covers or paving stones here for durability, as well as seating that blends naturally with the garden. Productive garden zone. For vegetable, herb, or even small fruit trees, section off a sunny area of your garden. Raised beds can help manage soil quality, keep things organized, and add a sense of visual structure. Many gardeners surround productive beds with flowering plants to attract pollinators and bring an aesthetic balance between practical and ornamental spaces. For this peaceful spot, choose calming elements like water features or soft, swaying grasses. Low benches or hammocks create a serene area for rest. Surround this spot with tall, densely planted greenery to create a secluded retreat. Let's go further into the concept of plant selection to achieve continuous bloom and color through all seasons. Here's a more advanced approach to layering plant choices based on seasonal cycles and visual harmony. Spring blooms. Go beyond traditional tulips and daffodils by incorporating hellebores, bleeding hearts, and anemones. These plants are known for early spring blooms and come in a wide range of soft colors that set a gentle tone for the season. Summer brilliance. Include a blend of classic perennials like daylilies, coneflowers, and salvias, with some unique choices such as echinacea and Russian sage. Summer plants often offer long-lasting blooms, which help the garden feel full and lush. Autumn color and texture. To extend garden interest into the fall, add asters, goldenrod, and sedum to your beds. Ornamental grasses like miscanthus or switchgrass add movement and texture, their seed heads catching the autumn light beautifully. Winter structure and subtlety. Use shrubs and trees like winterberry holly, red twig dogwood, and evergreen boxwoods to maintain winter interest. Add plants like witch hazel or camellias, which bloom in late winter, bringing subtle beauty to an otherwise quiet season. For a garden that truly feels connected to its surroundings, select plants that share similar tones and textures. Try using plants with silver or blue-green foliage to create continuity or complement bright flowers with deep greens and burgundy foliage. Advanced layering techniques for visual depth layering is about more than just height. It's a way to design depth and complexity within each garden bed. To take your layering technique further, focus on varying leaf shapes, bloom sizes, and plant forms. Foreground. Ground covers and low-growing plants like creeping thyme or sweet alyssum add color and texture at the front of your beds. Look for plants that can form a dense mat, preventing weeds and preserving moisture. Middle ground. Plants with mounding habits, like coral bells or hardy geraniums, provide a transition between the low-growing plants and taller species. Experiment with plants that have rounded or compact forms to create a stable, full look in the mid-layer. Background. Shrubs or taller plants create the background structure. Consider layering a mix of flowering shrubs, such as hydrangeas or rhododendrons, with ornamental grasses or dwarf conifers to ensure the backdrop has diversity and height. To ensure that your garden never looks flat, add contrast by mixing plants with different foliage shapes and textures. For example, the feathery leaves of ferns look striking against the broad leaves of hostas, while spiky yucca contrasts well with the softness of lamb's ear. Instead of just one focal point, consider multiple features in different parts of your garden to add visual variety and guide the eye around the landscape. Natural focal points. Sometimes a large tree or existing rock formation can serve as a natural focal point. Enhance these areas with complementary plantings, lighting, or even a seating area to draw attention. Thematic features. Think about incorporating a theme or color scheme into each focal point. A white-flowered garden bed, for instance, can serve as a focal point when positioned under a moonlight-sensitive tree, or a small pond filled with water lilies can become the heart of your landscape. Multiple focal points should be spaced thoughtfully. They should work in harmony rather than compete with each other. Place these elements so they can be appreciated from different vantage points within the garden. Advanced pathway design, more than just a walkway. Pathways can become an artistic part of your landscape, crafted to heighten anticipation and guide visitors toward interesting views. Experiment with curves, spirals, or branching paths, which create a sense of mystery and lead you to explore different areas. For pathways, materials matter. Cobblestone or pea gravel brings a rustic charm, while concrete slabs or bricks provide a clean, structured look. Enhance pathways with low-edging plants like lavender or boxwoods for a manicured appearance, or use wild, cascading flowers for a more natural effect. Garden lighting can serve both practical and aesthetic purposes, and experimenting with different types of lighting can create specific moods in the garden. Path lighting. Low lights along pathways ensure safety and highlight flower beds and plant textures. Solar-powered lights are eco-friendly, and some come with dimmable features for a more customizable look. Accent lighting. Use spotlights to illuminate key plants, trees, or structures. Place them low to the ground, angling upward to emphasize the silhouette of a tree, statue, or tall plant. Fairy or string lights. Add these to pergolas, arches, or tree branches for a whimsical, warm glow. They're especially effective in creating an intimate atmosphere in seating areas. Successful gardens thrive with seasonal care. In spring, focus on pruning, planting, and adding compost to enrich the soil. Summer calls for regular watering, weeding, and deadheading flowers to encourage new blooms. Autumn is ideal for mulching, planting bulbs, and clearing debris, while winter involves pruning dormant plants, protecting sensitive species, and planning for the next season. Thank you for joining us on this journey through garden design. Creating a beautiful landscape is a rewarding process, and every garden is a unique expression of its owner's vision. Don't forget to subscribe to Concept with Justin for more gardening tips and landscape inspiration. Happy gardening, and we'll see you in the next video.